You were standing at the kitchen bench in the quiet of the morning, the kettle just starting to rumble in the background. You take a fresh lemon, slice it down the middle, and squeeze that bright, tangy juice right into your favourite mug of warm water. Then, without a second thought, you toss the squashed leftover rind straight into the compost bin. Stop right there. You have just thrown away the absolute most valuable part of the entire fruit. Imagine buying a beautiful, fully restored classic Holden, driving it home, pulling out the spark plugs to keep on your mantelpiece, and sending the rest of the gorgeous car straight to the scrap metal yard. It sounds completely ridiculous when we look at it that way. The juice you just squeezed is lovely and refreshing, but it's mostly just water, natural sugars, and a fleeting hint of vitamin C. Big mistake. The real heavy lifting for your daily vitality is locked away in that tough outer skin and the bitter white pith you just discarded. I know exactly why you do it though. Our mothers and grandmothers taught us to use lemons this way, squeezing them over a bit of flathead or into a hot drink when we felt a sniffle coming on. Of course you throw the skin away, because chewing on raw lemon peel is incredibly bitter and tough on the teeth. I'm going to show you exactly how to unlock the hidden power of the whole lemon using a very strange temperature trick by the end of our chat today. Before we get to that simple kitchen method, we need to talk about what is actually happening inside your body when you wake up feeling stiff. You know that exact feeling I'm talking about. You roll out of bed, your feet hit the cold floorboards, and those dodgy knees suddenly feel like they belong to someone 20 years older. Your lower back grumbles as you reach down to put your slippers on. It feels like someone sneaked in overnight and poured super glue right into your joints. This is not just you getting older, and it is certainly not something you just have to put up with. That morning stiffness is a sign of microscopic friction happening deep inside your joint capsules. Think about it. Imagine an old pair of heavy steel garden shears that have been left out in the rain by the back shed. Over time, the morning dew and the harsh Aussie sun cause the metal to oxidize, creating a thick, stubborn layer of rust right deep in the hinge. When you try to open those shears, they grind, they catch, and they scream in protest. Your joints experience a very similar biological process called oxidative stress. Every time we breathe, eat, or simply deal with the everyday stresses of modern life, our bodies produce tiny, unstable molecules. We call these free radicals.
These little troublemakers bounce around inside your cells, essentially scratching up the smooth, glassy cartilage that normally lets your knees and hips glide effortlessly. When that delicate cartilage gets scratched and pitted, your body sends in inflammatory cells to try and patch up the damage. That resulting inflammation is the swelling, the heat, and the deep, frustrating ache you feel when you try to walk down the hallway to the kitchen. Now, let us look back at that discarded lemon rind sitting in your bin. That bright yellow skin is absolutely packed to the brim with a unique class of natural compounds called bioflavonoids. Think of these bioflavonoids as millions of microscopic sponges soaked in premium, high-grade lubricating oil. When they enter your bloodstream, they travel straight to those rusty, oxidized joints. They sweep up those bouncing free radicals before they can cause any more microscopic scratches on your cartilage. This incredible sweeping action helps calm down the swelling, giving your body a true chance to actually repair the joint lining in peace. You're essentially giving your internal hinges a magnificent spray of natural lubricant. The stiffness starts to ease, and you find yourself moving with a bit more of that old spring in your step. So, your joints are begging for these compounds, but all this potential is completely wasted if you make one fatal mistake with your digestion. You might be thinking we should just start chewing on those leftover raw lemon peels right now. Never do this. Your stomach acid is an incredibly powerful chemical bath designed to break down tough proteins. If you just eat raw, unprocessed chunks of peel, that harsh acid will completely destroy those delicate bioflavonoids before they ever reach your dodgy knees. We have to prepare the skin in a very specific way to protect those compounds, which I'll share with you shortly. Do you feel a bit cheated by how modern supermarkets breed all the real, robust flavor out of our fruit nowadays? Let us take a moment to look at the thick, spongy white layer just beneath the yellow skin, known as the pith. Most folks spend 10 minutes meticulously picking every last string of that white stuff off their citrus fruit. It tastes a bit chalky, it's bitter, and it certainly does not look very appetizing when you're trying to enjoy a snack. However, that deeply misunderstood white pith contains a massive concentration of a brilliant nutrient called rutin. Rutin is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to the vast network of your blood vessels. As we get a few more miles on the clock, our blood vessels naturally lose a bit of their youthful elasticity.
They become a bit stiff and rigid, much like an old rubber garden hose that has been sitting out in the blistering summer heat for far too long. When your blood vessels become stiff, your heart has to work much harder to pump fresh, oxygen-rich blood all the way down to your feet and back up again. This poor circulation is a massive contributor to that heavy, leaden feeling you get in your legs by the middle of the afternoon. You know the feeling, when you want to get out and prune the roses, but your legs feel like they are filled with wet concrete. Rutin acts like a deep, nourishing conditioning treatment for the walls of your blood vessels. It helps them relax, expand, and regain their vital flexibility. When your blood vessels are flexible, circulation improves dramatically without putting any extra strain on your heart. Suddenly, fresh oxygen and vital nutrients are flooding into your tired, aching leg muscles. That deep, exhausting fatigue starts to lift, and you actually feel like taking a wonderful stroll down to the local shops. It makes you wonder why we ever started throwing the pith away in the first place. So, the pith restores your internal plumbing, but you will completely ruin this benefit if you try to take the easy way out with the kettle. You're probably thinking we should just toss the whole lemon into a pot of rolling, boiling water and make a strong, hot tea. Stop right there. Boiling water is the absolute worst enemy of the delicate essential oils trapped inside the rind. If you boil the whole fruit, you will violently vaporize all the beneficial oils right into the air of your kitchen. You will be left with nothing but bitter, nutrient-depleted, murky water in your mug. I will show you the exact temperature trick to bypass this boiling mistake in just a little while. We also need to consider the environment we live in and the toll it takes on our physical structure. We're incredibly blessed with beautiful sunshine and a great outdoors here, but the heat and the UV rays are remarkably tough on our skin and our connective tissues. Our bodies rely heavily on a vital structural protein called collagen to keep everything from our skin to our joint cartilage firm, plump, and resilient. Collagen is literally the internal scaffolding of your entire body. Without it, things start to sag, wrinkle, ache, and lose their structural integrity. Think of the wooden frame of a lovely old weatherboard house. If the timber gets weak and brittle, the whole house starts to creak and groan in the wind. Here's the fascinating part about your body's collagen production. Your body absolutely cannot build a single strand of new collagen without an abundant, steady supply of vitamin C. While the watery juice of the lemon has a little bit of vitamin C, the tough skin contains up to 10 times more of this vital nutrient. When you combine the massive hit of vitamin C from the peel with the protective power of the bioflavonoids, you are creating the perfect biological environment. You are giving your body the exact raw materials it needs to patch up those microscopic potholes in your joint cartilage. I know how deeply frustrating it is to feel like your own body is slowly giving up on you. You just want to be able to get down on the living room floor to play with the grandkids, or spend a quiet arvo tending to the tomato plants without paying a heavy price for it the next day. This is not about chasing some impossible fountain of youth or trying to run a marathon. It is simply about giving your body the right foundational fuel to maintain your independence and enjoy your daily routine without constantly wincing in pain. Type a plus if you always throw the lemon skin in the bin, or a minus if you actually try to use it. So, we have the scaffolding sorted. But none of this matters if your body's main filtration system is hopelessly clogged up. Let us look much deeper into another hidden gem locked inside that yellow rind. Have you ever noticed the fine, fragrant mist that sprays into the air when you sharply bend a piece of fresh lemon peel? That beautiful mist is pure, concentrated essential oil, and it is absolutely loaded with a compound called D-Limonene. This specific compound has a profound, almost magical relationship with your liver. Think of your liver as the main oil filter in your family car. Its entire, tireless job is to constantly filter out the toxins, the metabolic waste, and the everyday rubbish that builds up in your bloodstream every single day. Over the decades, that hard-working filter can get a bit bogged down and clogged up. We might enjoy a lovely glass of wine with dinner, or perhaps we've been relying on various daily medications for years. Slowly but surely, the liver gets incredibly sluggish. When the main filter is sluggish, your whole body feels the heavy burden. A tired liver always translates to a deeply tired human. You wake up feeling thick and foggy, you struggle to find your words during a simple chat, and a deep lethargy settles into your bones by early afternoon. D-Limonene acts like a gentle, natural, highly effective solvent for your liver. It helps to break down and flush out the accumulated sludge, allowing the hard-working liver cells to regenerate and do their vital job efficiently again.
When your liver is clean, happy, and unburdened, your energy levels naturally and beautifully rebound. The heavy fog lifts from your brain, and you feel a renewed sense of sharp clarity and bright vitality. So, naturally, you might think the absolute best approach is to chop the whole lemon up and throw it into a high-speed blender to drink as a morning smoothie. Big mistake. The violent high-speed spinning action of a modern blender introduces massive amounts of oxygen directly into the mixture. This rapid, brutal oxidation instantly degrades the fragile D-Limonene and the delicate vitamin C. You end up turning your incredibly healthy smoothie into a frothy glass of severely diminished returns. We absolutely must handle the fruit with deep care to preserve its brilliant chemical integrity. Let us talk about one more crucial element that we completely wash down the sink, and it has to do with your digestion. As the years go by, many folks notice their digestion just is not as robust as it used to be. You feel bloated after a simple meal, and things just do not move through the system with the same reliable rhythm they once did. This happens because the environment inside your gut, your microbiome, is struggling. Think of your gut exactly like the soil in your backyard veggie patch. If the soil is dead, dry, and lacking in good compost, your tomatoes will never thrive, no matter how much water you pour on them. The good bacteria in your gut need specific types of fertilizer to grow, multiply, and keep your digestion running smoothly. That thick lemon peel is an absolute goldmine of a special type of fiber called citrus pectin. Pectin is the ultimate premium fertilizer for the good bacteria living in your digestive tract. When this natural fiber reaches your lower gut, it feeds the beneficial microbes, allowing them to crowd out the bad bacteria that cause that uncomfortable bloating and gas. As your internal soil becomes rich and healthy again, your digestion settles down beautifully. You can finally enjoy your favorite meals without that heavy, uncomfortable feeling sitting in your stomach for hours. Do you keep your fresh lemons out in a lovely bowl on the kitchen bench or tucked away in the fridge? So your gut is perfectly primed, but we still need to clear out the mental cobwebs that make the mornings so difficult. There is one final, incredibly fascinating compound hidden deep within the bitter pith, and it is called hesperidin. This little marvel is famous for its ability to support the tiny, microscopic blood vessels that feed your brain. We often joke about having a senior moment when we forget why we walked into the bedroom, but it's deeply frustrating when it happens constantly. Think of the blood flow to your brain like a steady, flowing creek. If the creek gets blocked by fallen branches and debris, the water slows down to a stagnant, muddy trickle. Hesperidin helps to clear out the debris in those tiny cerebral vessels, ensuring a brisk, steady flow of oxygen-rich blood right to your memory centers. It is like opening the floodgates and letting a rush of fresh, clear water revitalize the entire system. When your brain is receiving optimal blood flow, you feel sharper, more present, and deeply engaged in your day. We are getting much closer to that simple freezer method that unlocks all of this without destroying a single nutrient. Let us bring all of this magnificent biology together. We have the bioflavonoids actively sweeping up the joint rust. We have the rutin beautifully relaxing the stiff blood vessels. We have the massive dose of vitamin C rebuilding your crucial collagen scaffolding. We have the D-Limonene gently cleaning out your heavy liver filter. We have the Pectin fertilizing your digestive soil, and the hesperidin clearing the morning brain fog. All of these powerful, life-enhancing compounds are locked tightly inside the exact part of the fruit you have been casually throwing in the bin your entire life. It is quite a profound realization, is it not? We are literally sitting on a gold mine of natural, profound vitality right there in the humble fruit bowl. The grand challenge has always been how to consume the whole fruit without destroying the delicate nutrients through harsh heat, strong acid, or rapid oxidation, and of course, without completely overwhelming our sensitive taste buds with that intense, mouth-puckering bitterness. This brings us directly to the simple, brilliant scientific workaround I promised you at the very start of our chat. It is time to completely change the way you look at this humble fruit forever. The ultimate secret to unlocking this biological treasure chest lies right inside your freezer. When you bring your fresh lemons home from the market, preferably organic ones if you can get your hands on them, wash them thoroughly. Give them a really good vigorous scrub under cold running water to remove any surface waxes, dust, or dirt. Pat them completely bone dry with a clean cotton tea towel. Then, simply place the whole dry lemons directly into your freezer and leave them there overnight. Freezing the whole fruit does something quite remarkable and deeply scientific to its cellular structure. As the water trapped inside the lemon freezes, it expands dramatically. This expansion gently and systematically fractures the tough, rigid cell walls of the yellow rind and the bitter white pith.
This natural, cold fracturing process fully unlocks the bioflavonoids, the rutin, the pectin, and the essential oils, making them highly bioavailable to your body. Most importantly, this freezing process completely neutralizes the harsh, unpleasant, bitter taste of the white pith. It is pure, natural genius. When you wake up the next morning, take a rock-hard frozen lemon straight out of the freezer. Grab a standard metal cheese grater from the kitchen drawer. You are going to grate the entire frozen lemon, the yellow skin, the white pith, the juicy center, the seeds, and all. What you will end up with on your cutting board is a beautiful, fluffy, fragrant yellow and white powder. This frozen lemon dust is your powerful new daily vitality sprinkle. You can easily scatter a generous tablespoon of it over your morning porridge or your bowl of yogurt. You can toss it right through a fresh, crisp green salad at lunchtime or sprinkle it beautifully over a piece of baked fish for your dinner. The flavor is incredibly bright, wonderfully zesty, and deeply refreshing without any of the harsh sourness that normally makes your lips pucker. If you still absolutely love your warm, comforting morning drink, simply place a spoonful of the frozen grated lemon dust into your favorite mug. But remember the golden rule. Let your freshly boiled kettle sit on the bench for at least 5 full minutes to cool down before pouring the water over the delicate lemon dust. This crucial pause ensures the water is warm enough to be wonderfully comforting, but not so violently hot that it vaporizes those precious essential oils. It is a gentle, deeply soothing, and profoundly healthy way to start your day. What town are you watching from today? And did you have a beautiful lemon tree in your backyard growing up? Of course, while this natural whole food approach is wonderfully supportive for your daily vitality, we must always remember that our bodies are deeply complex machines. Please always have a good chat with your trusted GP before making any big changes to your daily routine, especially if you are managing existing conditions or taking prescription medications. They know your personal health history best, and we always want to work alongside them. Alongside your fantastic new frozen lemon habit, try to gently incorporate a bit of easy movement into your day. A slow, gentle 20-minute walk around the block in the cool, crisp air of the early morning does absolute wonders for keeping those newly lubricated joints moving freely. A bit of light, easy stretching on the living room rug while you watch the evening news can also help beautifully maintain that vital flexibility. We are not aiming for Olympic perfection or breaking any world records here. We're just aiming for a highly comfortable, remarkably capable and deeply joyful daily life. Taking excellent care of yourself does not have to be overly complicated, wildly expensive, or involve cupboards full of strange, unpronounceable powders. Sometimes the absolute most powerful, life-changing solutions are already sitting right there on your kitchen bench, just waiting to be understood and used properly. I really hope this little chat has given you a fresh, exciting perspective on how to deeply support your body naturally. It is all about working much smarter, not harder, and deeply respecting the incredible natural resilience of your own biological system. Give the frozen lemon trick a proper go this week and pay close attention to how your knees feel when you step out of bed or how your energy holds up in the mid-afternoon. You might just be incredibly pleasantly surprised by the profound difference such a simple, joyful change can make. Take wonderful care of yourself, look after your mates, and enjoy the beautiful day ahead. This information is strictly educational to support your daily vitality. Never change your doctor's medical treatment without their consent.